We'll start with Man City. They smashed Brighton 4-0 at the Amex. I think I said that. I think I said 4 or 5.
You never give a prediction. All you say is, I think I'll smash them.
Oh, here's a prediction. You carry on like that, I'll smash your face in. Brighton have scored 5 goals in their last 11 matches. They're winless in their past 7 games. Is Roberto De Zerbi getting away with it just a little bit?
It's given away inside the box. Foden is there to bury it. And they have won that ball inside the 18-yard box. They have turned it over high up. And they have punished Brighton at source.
I'm not a De Zerbi fan. I've gone right off him. Brighton have, in recent weeks, not been anywhere near resembling what they've been previously. A lot of that's down to the manager.
He's asking his team to do something they're just not quite capable of doing against the very best.
He went off to get his teeth changed, didn't he? And everyone thought he was going to be the manager of Liverpool. De Zerbi.
So, what was that last bit? Was that Mike Keogh? He went off to get his teeth changed, and everyone thought because of that he was going to be the Liverpool manager.
It's the best line I've ever had Martin come up with, and I love.
Was he
Martin.
joking? Was he joking?
No,
that's a real line, was it?
Obviously for the pictures.
That's the reason he thought he was getting his teeth done.
Yeah.
Roberto De Zerbi's been at Brighton since 2022. Took over from, of course, Potter as he left to go to Chelsea. And I think all Brighton fans and all football fans actually looked at that Brighton side and thought, has Graham Potter taken them as far as anyone could take them? Then De Zerbi come in. And his reign there, to begin with, was fantastic. Everyone was blown away by just great things he was doing. One of the things he was getting them to do was score goals, which I don't think Graham Potter really did it as much as De Zerbi did in his first maybe 6 to 8 months. But they've dried up. Their wins have dried up. They're currently sitting now, a team that I thought were going to be pushing for top 6, maybe top 7, currently sit just below mid-table. They're 11th. And that's quite ironic because they've won 11, they've drawn 11, and they've lost 11 games as well. What are you going to say?
Listen, I like him. But even when you look at the start, and I'm talking in Premier League terms only, remember he got that 3-3 with Liverpool in his first Premier League game.
Yeah, and it was a great game, by the way.
And everyone went, oh, here we go. Yeah. But then he gets beat by Tottenham after that, beat by Brentford, draws with Forest 0-0, gets beat by Man City 3-1. So I won't say he got off to the best of starts. Then obviously they go and beat Chelsea. Do you remember 4-1 at home? And everyone was like, okay. And he has, at times, you go, okay, he's had some really good results. They play really good football. They've found a way to score goals. But in the midst of his reign, at times, they've taken 1 or 2 absolute tonkins, by the way. I mean, remember Villa gave him a 6-1 before. They've taken a few batters. Remember Luton beat them 4-0.
Yeah, that was awful.
Do you know what I mean? So, listen, I like De Zerbi. I think he plays good stuff. But at the minute, the run that they're on, I mean, there's no shame getting beat 4-0 by Manchester City, but they're drawing with Burnley. They should be beating Burnley. It's 1-1. Yeah. Obviously, we smashed them 3-0. Brentford 0-0. Getting beat by Liverpool 2-1. Getting beat by Fulham 3-0. It's just been they were so consistent for a while where even when they were getting beat, they were still hard to play against and they were still picking up good results. But now at the minute, they're so easy to play against. I mean, some of the goals, I think it was Foden's second goal, where they're trying to play tiki-taka inside their own box. The goalkeeper does that little nice shimmy, pass it out, they give it away, Foden one touch, bang.
Yeah,
it's almost like he's just petering out.
You are playing a Man City side that have to win every single game now because of Arsenal, of course. I thought they were brilliant, Man City. Actually, I didn't think they were brilliant. I thought they were brilliant when they scored the goals and they needed to be. They had that extra gear. I don't even think they used, but that Kevin De Bruyne header was just ridiculous. You don't really. I know later on you're doing your top 5 headers of the ball. You don't really see headers in football anymore.
Well, no, because I think one of the reasons is that the wide players have changed. Certainly, when I was playing, you had 2 wide players that would look to first and foremost would get down the line. Classic example. Aaron Lennon was brilliant at it. He'd face up the fullback, go drive to the byline, and just either stand it up or just whip it across the face. Yeah. Nowadays, the 2 wide men are effectively forwards. So
and not only that, they're the other-footed. So on the right, you've usually got a left foot. Yeah. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to be shooting.
But even then, sometimes they still cut back, check back, and then whip it in.
Yeah.
But now it's almost like, right, can they shoot? It used to be create first. If I can't create, then I'll have a shot at goal. Now it's very much, can I shoot first? Yeah. If that option's not on, then I'll go to create.
I want to play some audio in just a sec. Can I ask, when you've done co-coms for talkSPORT, have you ever had a drink before?
Never.
You never been hammered?
No.
Never said something really stupid?
What, before co-coms?
No, when you're doing co-coms.
Never.
Oh, okay. Former Chelsea defender Scott Minto was on co-coms duty for talkSPORT last night. Man City hammered Brighton 4-0. Despite the Seagulls' poor form, he said he still believes De Zerbi is a top 4 manager.
I think he can absolutely manage a Champions League club and in the Premier League. I really do. I think he's good enough to do that. You know, I think, okay, 6 wins out of, 26? It's not good, but if he had a better class of players, he would play this way and get a much higher win percentage.
What do you make of that comment?
Could he manage a top... I think he's got the personality to manage a top 4 side.
What does that mean?
So I don't think he'd whimper at dealing with big players. I think he's got the personality. He's quite fiery.
Has he got the credentials to manage the top four side?
I mean, before someone gets a top four job, who has got credentials? Do you know what I mean?
Pep.
Okay, but Wenger came from the Japanese side.
Yeah.
No credentials. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those where I do like De Zerbi. I mean, if you look at the top four sides now, he's not going to Man City.
No.
He's not going to
Liverpool.
Arsenal. He's not going to Liverpool. He's not going to Villa currently because they've got Unai Emery. So there's 4 managers that I believe are better than him.
Yeah.
And even if you start going further down...
What about Spurs?
Not the way Ange plays.
I agree. Manchester United?
Do you think he's better than Ten Hag?
No.
Okay, well, David Moyes at West Ham.
Well, let's go down. Eddie Howe at Newcastle?
I think he's probably in that bracket.
But not better.
I won't say he's 100% better.
Okay. Moyes?
I don't think he's better than Moyes.
Okay. Poch, Chelsea?
No.
There you go. Just done top 10.
I'd even say Marco Silva is better than him potentially. And I like Marco Silva. I think he's done well at Fulham. But I think for De Zerbi and this Brighton team, I don't like to say it, but it almost feels like because they know they're not going down, that European football was a possibility. They've been ravished with injuries, that's fair. It's been horrible, their injury. But almost just like, like I've been there where you get into the back end of the season now. It's been a long season. You've had injuries. You can't really play for European honours. You're not going to go down. So you're just stuck in that middle block. You're just almost like, I wish it was hurry up. I wish the season was hurry up and finish. Get them holidays. Yeah. That's how they're playing.
Yeah. Oh, well, listen, we'll put it out to the football fans. You said you don't think West Ham would swap Moyes for him.
No. Well, Moyes at the minute, I think West Ham fans would because it's just different.
Right. Would you think West Ham fans would take De Zerbi?
Yeah.
They would?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Newcastle, would they swap Eddie Howe for him?
No, they like Eddie Howe.
Chelsea?
Chelsea's a funny one. No, I don't think they would.
Okay. Man United, we'll put it out there as well.
Well, would you think?
I wouldn't, but do you think United fans are on...
No.
Frank's a Newcastle fan. We're talking about Roberto De Zerbi. Hello, Frank. How are you?
How you doing, lads? You all right?
I'm great. Are you an NFL fan?
No, definitely not. Football that you play with your hands? No, thank you.
If you had to watch either snooker or NFL, what are you going for?
Snooker every day of the
Good
week.
boy.
Rocket Ronnie.
Thanks, Frank. What would you like to say about De Zerbi?
No worries. Yeah, Eddie Howe, 50 times better manager than De Zerbi, in my opinion. I think football managers have to be pragmatic. I think you have to play against your opposition. This whole one style of play, one style only, against everybody, I don't think it works. I think you've got to play to your opponent. And I think Eddie Howe, the football I've been watching the last 2 years has been a lot better than what I've seen at Brighton.
Do you know what? First of all, I won't take offence to the NFL chat, but I like Eddie Howe, and I think a little bit he's had a bit of a rough ride this season because I was saying to Andy certainly at the start of the season.
Marquee signing,
the
signing we never got to play. It was a nightmare start.
The injuries that he had to deal with at the start of the season was absolutely crazy. And I think you said it on the show before. When you get Champions League in your first season, like, all of a sudden everyone's expectation goes, oof, we should be able to do it again easy.
Yeah.
And it's not that easy. It doesn't work. It's not that easy. But I like Eddie Howe, and I think the longer they stick with him,
I agree.
I think he'll beat him into a good squad.
Yeah.
And it's 11.
Oh, well, then you just Google it.
I said 11.
Yeah, but you had to Google it. If you had been on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, you would have got that wrong. You'd be out £500.
Did I say 11 before I Googled it?
You went 12.
I said 11 or 12.
Right. Well, you'd have gone A or B.
I think we're going to smash them 3 or 4 or 5.
Oh, that's right. Smash you in a minute. Steve's up next. Hi, Steve.
Morning, evening, good afternoon. Don't argue, boys and girls. It's not very good.
We might argue about the time of day.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm not arguing with a West Ham fan.
No, I'm not arguing with a West Ham fan either. How are you? Are you all right, Steve?
You're sensible. De Zerbi I'll tell you what, I would actually go back to the London Stadium because I once turned around and told you that I'd never go and watch football. If he came to our place, I would go back and watch us at home.
Let me ask a question, Steve. Is that because more you want De Zerbi or that you're just sick of Moyes?
Great question.
I was actually sick of moving there, really, because we wasn't consulted. But that's a completely different thing. But Moyes, I've got to say, thank you very much to what he's done. But he's like VAR. Nobody wants him anymore, so he can go. He's done wonders, but it's just the way he did it. I mean, you can get a 1-4-7 break and do it absolutely spectacularly, or you can do it boringly. And he would do it boringly every single time.
Sorry, Steve, who would you rather have then? You got the opportunity to get someone like a De Zerbi or Graham Potter. Which would you go for?
I would never go. No, Potter's no. Potter is not proven. Not proven at all. Zerbi's, if he can get Brighton into Europe, he could get anybody anywhere. I'd have Eddie Howe. I would have Lopetegui if he comes. That'd be quite good. I might even think about going there. But it would probably, knowing Dealer Dave, he'd probably get someone that nobody's ever heard of and hope for the best.
Okay. Well,
what do you call him?
Dealer Dave. Michael's up next. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Andy.
How are you?
Not too bad, man. I'm up to Manchester to watch the game, but you know what I mean? Man United a bit like, you know, hit and miss.
You take 1-0 now, wouldn't you?
Do you know what? I just want to get through the end of the season, Andy.
Yeah,
I've just had enough.
Okay. What do you want to say about Zerbi, Mike?
He wouldn't get into United, would he, Andy? Come up with it.
I don't think so.
No, there's too many big egos at United. I don't think he can handle them. I mean, Ten Hag's had problems with these egos.
Do you know what?
You got Rashford going again, haven't you? And the problem is, there's not many top elite managers who can compete with like Pep and, well, obviously Klopp's going, you know. There is one guy I'd have at United, you know, just go and get him, you know, just get the checkbook out, you know, Jim Ratcliffe, Ancelotti.
I think everyone wants him. I think every top club wants him.
Yeah.
But he's not going anywhere.
No. What's your view on Zerbi at Brighton?
I like watching them play. I do think they take risks. Again, I know I sometimes say you can't use injuries as an excuse, but for them, with the injuries they've had, trying to balance Europe as well as domestic cup competitions as well as the Premier League, like they lost some of their best players. Like Matoma at one point was, oh my goodness, it was absolutely ripping people to shreds.
Yeah. But it's such a well-run club, isn't it?
Yeah.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.